Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode here on the 404 Not Bound technical server. So, in the last episode, we were working on the Tree Farm District project. Actually, in the last episode, we did a April Fool's joke on all of you guys. We said that we had reset the server to 1.18.2, and we had started a season 2, basically, of 404 Not Found, and no, that's not true, I'm afraid. It was all a bit of a piss take on the idea that we keep saying that we're never going to update to 1.18, and so we decided to do the one thing that we said we'd never do. So we made a separate server, a quick server just for the week of April Fools, and a few of us went on there just to have a bit of a muck about and actually do some genuine stuff on there. But for the most part, we didn't have to. We didn't really do much of what you saw in that video. So yeah, we're always joking about never. Well, not even joking. We're always saying that we're never going to update to 1.18.2, but then we thought it would be a funny joke to basically do that, trick some people into thinking that we had updated. So the video thumbnail and the title, all that sort of indicated that it was genuine. But once you actually watch the video and you actually hear what we're saying, it's quite clear that we're not updating. We're taking the complete Mickey. For example, we said that we updated to 1.18.2 paper server because paper is makes everything better, but paper makes everything worse, significantly worse. It's not ideal for technicals Minecraft. It's fine if you want to do PvP stuff and big multiplayer stuff like that, but no, not for technical Minecraft. It's the worst. So it was kind of a piss take on that as well. So yeah, I got a number of you fell for it. Surprisingly, we got a lot of messages saying, "Well, have you guys updated to 1.18?" So you either didn't watch the episode at all in its entirety, or you genuinely were fooled. And if you got to the very end, I even said Happy April Fools. So a very subtle hint there at the end that it was a joke. So yeah, so it is officially an episode of 404. It is episode 20, so technically that is last episode, and this one is episode 21. So let's get back to episode 21. And in this episode, we will actually be working on one of the tree farms that we need. At the moment, the main motivation to get a tree farm in place is to actually get a load of logs that we need to smelt down into charcoal, and then we can use that charcoal to fuel all the furnaces for the glass factory and keep that running for as long as possible. Behind me, you will notice that there are a load of contraptions. This was my attempt at designing a dark oak tree farm. I made quite a few different ones, and all of them had their pros and cons. I had a very good one which was very mechanical, which unfortunately didn't have a high enough sapling return rate. So then I went ahead and did a simpler one using just TNT, which is where you grow it, and you just use TNT to blow up the entirety of the tree. You don't push anything, which is a standard design. But unfortunately, yeah, it sort of did and didn't work in terms of sapling return rate. I got enough saplings out of it, but trying to return it and collect the saplings at the same time balancing that was very difficult. So the player would sometimes eventually run out of saplings, and the entire thing would blow up because it started picking up dark oak logs and placing it. And yeah, where the tree farm detection works is it wasn't nice. So I was starting to lose quite a lot of motivation to play Minecraft because of this, and I wanted to get this done, but I didn't want to. My motivation was tanking, so I've decided with that I'm not going to design my own one. I'm going to put that sort of project on hold. I'll do that another time in the future. Might not, might do. So I might have a dark oak tree farm of my own design in the future. I might not, but anyway, I decided that I'm not doing that. Instead, we're going to be using someone else's design. This is the dark oak log tree farm design that we shall be using. It's one by Shady J. I shall link it in the description. They actually have two designs. They have a single core design and a dual core design. We're going for the dual core design because it has the correct speed that we need for the charcoal factory. So our glass factory requires 24k charcoal per hour to keep running continuously, and this farm runs at 36k per hour in the dual core, whereas the single core version is 21k per hour, so that's quite not fast enough. So yeah, anyway, so this will be more than enough, and also we don't need a ridiculously fast dark oak tree farm because at the end of the day we're probably only going to be using dark oak logs for decoration, and in this case charcoal as well. So yeah, it'd be more than enough for what we need. Anyway, so this is I'm going to use. I'm going to change a few little things. Can change the crying obsidian to just be a normal obsidian. The stained glass is probably going to be white stained glass. Just going to do those little changes, and then we can link it up to the super smelter we need to do. And the super smelters will be the exact same module design that I've done for the glass factory. Okay, so this is basically the prototype. It's a working prototype, and as you can see here, we've got the dual core dark oak farm running at the moment, and it is then being all the logs are being fed into the furnace array. The furnace array is pretty much just one single 96 furnace array unit from the glass factory. The charcoal is it's exactly the same. The only difference is the way the fuel works. So we'll get onto that in a minute. Let's just have a look at what's going on up here. So you can see here, we've got the dual cores working. The switches for it, so that turns the farm on. That was part of the original schematic of this farm. And then I've added in this bit for the charcoal factory, which basically just turns it on and off, which essentially just allows the boxes of logs to go into the furnace array rather than to storage. You can see that there's all the saplings coming up here, the weight here, bot picks them up there, and all the items here get streamed into the sorters, so past the saplings, and then here we've got the double speed item sorters for dark oak. Load up all of the dark oak into these boxes, they then get broken, they then get dispensed here, and then because this hopper is unlocked in this mode when it's on, we will then have boxes going into here. So here we've got this basically this buffer, and it will eventually fill all the way up, and then we'd start having boxes going over to here, but that wouldn't be after probably like a couple of, maybe a day's worth of AFKing. So it's not a terrible thing that's happening. Now the downside to this entire thing is that basically if we turn this off, then this will keep going until all the boxes here are done. The fueling is pretty simple. We literally just have a hopper minecart here over the ice, which is currently full of charcoal, and then the hopper minecart here is also going to be full. Oh god, my connection really is bad. Yeah, it's currently full because we've filled up all the hoppers and the furnaces with charcoal. So eventually that will happen, and then yeah, this will just keep looping. So I've not got a failsafe in at the moment, so that it doesn't stop it looping once the furnace array stops. So I need to add that in. But other than that, that's pretty much it in terms of additions. Oh, and of course we've got to do the storage, so the loaders for the charcoal. So, like I said, working prototype, so I'll just add in the extra additions there, and I will be right back once I've done that. Okay, I've actually done a little bit more work in terms of the overall prototype, and we're now got to a stage which is pretty much the final thing. The only thing we've got to do is still just hooking up to essential storage and doing the whole end gateway stuff. So the extra bit I've had to add in is actually the bone meal source, because this thing uses up for about 3 double chests worth bone meal per hour. So I've just added in one of Dark's bone meal farms. I'll link the video in the description for this particular farm. It's very good, very efficient, very lag friendly, and it also really easy to scale. So I've got 5 modules here, and that's all. That's more than enough that we need. So we technically produce an excess of bone meal. The bone meal that doesn't go back into the farm to keep it self-sufficient goes into this loader here, which is the 2x speed shulker box loader, and it will then fill up these boxes, and then it will go through all the way through here, down here, into this dropper, and then this dropper will dispense it into this water stream, and the box will then travel all this way, and then eventually meet to this hopper, and this feeds it into the dark oak log farm. So here we've got all the boxes of bone meal, which are then unloaded into the farm through this shulker box unloader, and we then have the droppers going up there, and it then distributes it across both of the cores. And any boxes that don't get picked up by this hopper will, so when either when this is full or it just gets skipped over for whatever reason, then it will come down over here, hit this what's that called, fence gate, drop down here into this stream, and then drop down here further, go out here, and then it'll go off to a central storage of bone meal from that will be supplied by all the farms. So any excess produced in any of the tree farms will go to that area. Finally, I've added in some indicator lamps to tell us some information about the complex. So lamp here to indicate whether the charcoal factory is on, in addition to the the usual lamps we had at the beginning. We've turned the tree farm on, as well as the enabling concrete factory mode. So that can be on and that can be on, but then this won't turn on until the factory has actually started. And then we also got indicator lamps here for all the boxes. So these are on to tell you that there's enough boxes in the system to keep it running. and so essentially there's one for the charcoal boxes. Those always stay full because any of the boxes that are unloaded from the logs go straight back into the loader for the charcoal, so never have to worry about that. But it's there anyway, just in case that ever does happen, if for any cases that we don't foresee. There's also one for the log boxes, of course, so this one will run out eventually over time, and of course there's another one for the bone meal boxes. So when any of these turn off, basically whenever those are powered, it will power one of these redstone torches, which will power this line, which will then turn off the entire farm. So the main thing you need to turn off is, of course, the tree farm, and it will also be able to turn off the bone meal farm. So the bone meal farm will keep going for a little bit longer because of excess bone meal produced down there from all the items, but eventually that will stop, and then we don't have to worry about it anymore. But that's the main idea. So there's some fail safes in place so that we don't run out of boxes and we have items spewing out everywhere, which can cause a lot of issues. So it's got that fail safe, which is really good. Another thing it's got is just a more convenient way of getting down to actually go and put in those extra boxes when we need to do it. So just a service hatch, come down here, walk along here, and then you can go to this chest for the dark oak logs, and then if you come over here and I'll fly over here instead, you're going to fill the boxes into here. So that's the way we handle it, and it will basically allow us a bit of an easier way of accessing everything. And if we do need to go down and replace the charcoal ones, we can just fly down there and do it ourselves. But like I say, very unlikely to that happen, but we've got the fail-safe in place nonetheless. The final stage before building it up on the SMP has now been completed, which is to get in the sorting system in place, and also a system in place to send the boxes to the glass factory. So let's have a quick look at that now. So firstly, let's have a look at the storage system. So this is a storage system that will be able to handle all of the log types you want to have, which is basically every single log type in the game. There's room for expansion for future log types, which in 1.19 there's the new log types. I can't remember the name of them, but the swamp ones, they're there, so they could be added in, as well as maybe stuff like podzol if we wanted to farm podzol from a spruce log farm, which we'll explore in the next episode. But for now, this is perfectly fine, and basically we have about just over 3 storage for about 3 million items per log type, and also we've got bone meal as well as charcoal, so plenty of storage. And as usual with the sort of storages I do for farms, I've added in some lamps, a bit like with the concrete factory, and but above it is slightly different. So but all of this here is not designed by me. It is a load of box sorters and a what's called a wanker. That has a very different meaning to me, and probably to a lot of you out there. But yeah, it's called a sugar box wanker. That particular wanker is designed by Rapscallion. The remaining parts with the box sorters and all that, I can't remember who designed that. I will get a link from the Storage Tech Discord. I'll put it into the description of the video, so you'll be able to check it out. Anyway, but basically we just sort out shulker boxes of each of the items and sort them into each of the slices, so we don't have to ever worry about having too many transport lines and that sort of thing. The storage system has boxes coming in from this line here. It then goes into the wanker, which then takes out one item from the box and then breaks the box. The box goes down one line and the item goes down along another, and then in each of these sorters we've got unstackable types and the type that we want to sort. So in this case it's an oak log, so if it happens to be an oak log it will go into there. There's also an overflow, so if any of the slices get full, so in this case once all of these are full up to this bit, yep, and then all of this is full as well, and that's full and that's full, then this dropper here will have an item in it and then it will dispense the box into this water stream. And this is true for all the sorters. It goes along here, all the way along here, and then eventually goes into this hopper. At the moment I put a dropper here, but this dropper will basically act as a buffer, so that an overflow sort of storage. And once there's a single item in here, this will activate this comparator, which turns off the entirety of the tree farms in the area. So at the moment it's just a single redstone line that goes off to basically power this redstone torch, so that if this ever turns off, this line turns off, which is when there's a box inside that dropper, it will power this torch, which will then turn the entire thing on, this redstone line on, which will then turn off the entire farm. So at the moment you can't turn it on because there's no boxes in any of the any loaders, as you can see here. But if that was the case and it was running, then this would turn it off and make sure that we don't produce more items than the storage can handle. And it's basically just a failsafe for that very reason. One little thing is the cornering system. I haven't got one. Basically, once the boxes and items come through here and they haven't sorted into any of these slices because they are part of this slice, then it will get recombined in this box loader here. And it will then become a full box again. It gets dispensed back into here, goes along this line, goes into this water stream, and then goes into another wanker, which does the exact same process as over there, and then it will sort it into this bit. And then if for any reason we had boxes of items that aren't able to be sorted into here, which is extremely unlikely, then things just get dispensed into these cauldrons of lava. I might change these to also be barrels, but for now I'm just going to keep them to be burned. So anyway, that's really it in terms of the storage system. The other thing that we added, of course, was some item streams. So got a load of water streams coming out for all the box outputs from the log farm. I go into here. All the other tree farms will also link into any of these streams as well, but they'll all eventually get into this bit here because we can mix them, of course, because of the box sorter. Last thing is a system in place to allow us to send boxes to the glass factory or not. So at the moment it's enabled, so let's go up here. So you've got an indicator lamp here saying send charcoal to glass factory. So if I do that, it's off, and it will then redirect the water stream down here to go and put the charcoal boxes straight into storage. And if it's enabled, then it will go to the glass factory. So let's follow that line. So basically, we'll go this way. It goes up and then goes up this stream, goes under the gateway. So we'll need to break some bedrock underneath, and then it will go into the gateway here. And now, important detail here is that in order for this entire thing to work with the sending items to the other side, we need to have this side loaded and the other side, and that will be happening when the glass factory is running, because we need to have a bot there loading it. And in this case, we'll be running the dark oak farm, so this would be loaded from that dark oak. But for now, I've got bot 1 and bot 2. We go into there, we find ourselves landing here, which is also where the item will land. This is the gateway, so for now, this is what I've done. Then you can see here under the spruce, we've got a hopper minecart, which will pick up the item, dispense it into the dropper. The dropper will dispense it into this powder snow, which keeps it aligned, centered, and then we falls down into here, into a water stream, which will then redirect it, well, just send it to the fuel system of the glass factory, which is all these chests. And then once this is full, which it will be eventually because we produce more boxes of charcoal than the glass factory consumes, then it will go over these lines and then go back into this water stream, come down here, and this basically sends it back to the tree farm district into this system here. So we've got a little bit of a weird thing going on here, which I'll explain in a minute. But yeah, you know, it goes into this item transport system, which will then send it back to the tree farm district by the exact same way that we sent the boxes here on the other side. The reason we have this weird sort of stream system here is to actually allow the box to align in a certain way. So when it comes in, it goes into here and goes into there, it'll be aligned along this wall, and then it'll be into the stream, and it'll probably be in this corner, but either way it'll be on this side of the stream. And the reason we need to be this side of the stream is because of that hopper minecart up there. So if it was coming in just straight from here, it would go into this corner more than likely, because again it goes into that side of the wall when it comes this way, and then it will be in this corner, which means that the hopper minecart that's sitting here can pick it up, and that's what was happening in my testing. So needed to align it in a certain way, which is why we have it like that. So it'll stay aligned this side and it'll go back up to the storage system, and we don't need to worry about a lack of boxes for whatever reason. And also we don't want to have an infinite loop of charcoal boxes because that will generate unnecessary lag. So yep, that's basically it in terms of what we need to do to actually get this up and all working. So now we just need to build it up on the SMP. So I hope you enjoy this time lapse. hope you enjoyed that time lapse. The entire thing has not been built up. It's been running for quite a while. As you can see, we've got all of the lamp indicators on for the charcoal slice, and we are almost there with the dark oak as well. So this has been running for the last couple of weeks. Basically, I was originally meant to get this episode out about 2 weeks ago, but unfortunately some issues happened with the rendering, and then not so unfortunately I went on a very lovely holiday for a week, so I couldn't do anything then, and that entire time I was gone, I had this running on the server, and Potter was very kind and offered to sort of make sure things were running okay, and it's been running continuously for the last few weeks. The bot's not died or anything like that, which is really good, and it's not run out of saplings and all that sort of thing. But yeah, so charcoal's all filled up. We've also got it all filled up at the glass factory as well. Bone meal is actually starting to fill up a bit as well, so you can see I've got quite a few number of boxes of bone meal, so the excess bone meal is working. And then here we are nearly full. This chest is full here, yep, but we still haven't quite filled up the hopper, and then it will be the dropper, and then it will be finally that one, and then we'll be full, and it will turn itself off once it is completely full, and we're not going to do anything until it has completely filled itself up, just so that we know it turns itself off. The turning itself off does work, that's what happened with the charcoal. It's been quite a long time to get this entire thing done. It's been about 2 months really in total, which unfortunately was not foreseen, but that's life. So I'm just glad it's finally done, and I can get this episode in particular out very shortly. So I do hope you enjoy this video. In the next episode we shall be continuing with this project and finishing off, so basically getting all the other tree farms in, and then once we've done that, I'm hopefully going to do a few episodes where I just give a tour update of what's happened on the server, because a lot's happened since in the last few months, and I've not really actually shown off a lot of it. We've been very focused on all this end stuff. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I shall catch you in the next one. See ya. Oh, and please subscribe, like, if you don't subscribe, you won't be able to see any future of these videos. It's free. Please do it. Alright, bye.